Gut protocols are pretty insane. Gut health as a topic is pretty insane. We hear about this all the time on social media, and oftentimes these are big global issues in a human body condensed down into solvable problems. For instance, bloating. This suddenly turns into now that you have gut dysbiosis, and now you need my unique $4,000 protocol to fix your issue and feel better than you've ever felt before in your entire life. You'll be able to eat anything and feel absolutely amazing, and while we're at it, lose 20 pounds of fat. But the reality is we in fact have zero clue about a lot of the things happening in the human gut. An internet search using keywords such as gut microbe or gut microbita generates between 1 to 2.2 million results, all of which might tell you something quite different about the term and what it means or how to improve it. But to confuse matters more, two healthy individuals are going to have two very different microbiomes. The funny thing is that out of the trillions of bacteria in the gut, we only know about a few that we could count on hand strains of bacteria or family types of bacteria. But the online cabal of gut health and gut protocols would tell you that they have the solution. In fact, hundreds and hundreds of people have used their protocols and reversed their gut issues and are now so much better. And while saying this, it stands in the face of the actual statistic that we talked about, which is two people don't have the same microbiome. You're kind of just dropping a dookie in a fresh supply of water here. Not only that, but we also have different areas of the digestive process. There's not just the intestine, it's the small intestine, the large intestine, the liver, the actual stomach, the esophagus, your mouth, and much, much more. And each of those regions has its own strains of bacteria. One strain might impact local strains within its region, but it can also impact downstream strains of other regions as well. So spamming probiotics isn't always a great solution, if at all, for bad digestion or bloating or something global like those issues. In fact, there's numerous cofactors to poor digestion. Numerous. The list you're seeing here is only a very small portion of a complex matter. For example, dogs and cats change your microbiome. Temperature and humidity can change your microbiome. Many, many, many things alter your gut in general. Now, it isn't a lie to say that probiotics help. Indeed, they do a lot for humans suffering with, example, ulcerative colitis. However, there isn't a resolution to their problem or situation. It's usually just a remission of symptoms, but the root issue is still present. Not to mention, the latest research is very clear on suggesting that probiotics in a supplemental capacity do much less than just instead eating probiotic foods or better foods. We seem to extract more benefit from having a variety of foods in our diet and having longer term benefits than when compared to any other supplement in the matter. Now, I'm getting really deep into a contentious space because it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, unfortunately, so if they have something to sell, they're going to sell it to you. And trust me, they are committed to selling it, so anyone in the face of their sales is an enemy. So instead of me being the subject matter expert, let's just look at a couple other subject matter experts and apply some critical thinking to their logic.
Okay, long-awaited gut healing protocol. I'm going to walk you through every supplement I take that was recommended by several holistic doctors. If you have any of these symptoms, I would look into SIBO. This is not just like, oh, I occasionally get bloated. This is chronic bloat. It ruins my life. Like, something needs to be fixed. I would look into SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and this is the protocol I'm following. And it's a holistic approach, which I'm all about. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is replacing the systems of my body that aren't working properly. So I'm not digesting my food properly because I have SIBO and all of these gut issues. It damages your gut lining, all the things. So I'm adding in these digestive enzymes to help me absorb the nutrients from my food. It helps with bowel movements, all of it. I'm also bringing in a probiotic. This one is the most recommended by any doctor, whether traditional or holistic. It's amazing. Sometimes though, if you do have SIBO, you can be reactive to probiotics. So some people wait. I just say try it. If you don't seem to be doing well with it after a few weeks, just pass on this phase. Super common that you aren't going to the bathroom regularly when you have SIBO, so I'm adding in Motility Pro and then also magnesium citrate and magnesium malate to help me go to the bathroom. I'm on a few detoxing supplements. This just helps you again absorb your food, but also helps your detoxification system, which is key when you have all of these toxins and overgrowth in your gut. This is GI Detox from Biocide and Botanicals. It binds to the toxins in your gut and helps truly just get rid of them. But you can't take it within an hour of any other supplements because it literally just binds to everything and removes it from your system, so you have to be a little careful about the timing with it. Okay, now on to the antimicrobials, which is the bulk of the protocol, and these act as bacteria fighting and they help to get rid of that overgrowth, and they are strong and you can have symptoms from them because they're actively killing things in your gut, which can make you feel pretty gross. I'm starting with this, and when I say I'm starting small. I'm taking a quarter, 1/18, 1/16 of this supplement and seeing how I react to it at first, just taking one dose, and then I'm going to slowly build up until I can do one in the morning and one at night for 1 week. Completely depending on how bad your gut is, what you're dealing with, you can have different reactions to these antimicrobials because again, they are strong and they're killing things in your gut, which can cause a HERG reaction. So after I can successfully do 1 week of this morning and night without feeling awful, then I'm going to move to the next antimicrobial, which is oregano oil. It's amazing. I'm going to do the same thing until I can do one in the morning, one at night for a week. Same thing with this berberine from thorn, and the last one is neem. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I cannot stress enough, start small with these antimicrobials, try and do them for a week each, and then switching, it gets your body like not used to them, and then yeah.
So she mentions if you have all of these symptoms, you have some issues. But excuse me, like who doesn't have these issues? Feeling bloated after you eat something? Where does the food go? This is always something you'll chronically see these people talk about. Where's the food going? There's not a black hole in your stomach. You don't just put something in your mouth and then it comes out of your anus in 30 seconds. Like, it has to sit in your body. Not to mention, the human gut can store anywhere from 10 to 25 pounds of fecal matter at any given point, and that is normal. That is not even considered to be constipated. She mentions feeling full. Like, come on, dude, you're going to eat something. It has to go somewhere. Like, let's be real. These are digestive issues, but oftentimes they're just spontaneous and due to dietary intake or being in variable environments or just traveling, for instance. With minor corrections in dietary intake and oftentimes lifestyles, these things can become quite a non-issue and be eliminated without ever having to have spent a dime on copious amounts of supplements. Acid reflux, for example, can be a very chronic issue for people who have a troublesome past, specifically with the overuse or abuse of alcohol. This isn't due to internal modifications with the exposure to ethanol physiologically on the actual surfaces of your digestive tract. It isn't a gut issue. It isn't take this supplement and fix your problems issue. It's a consequence to your actions that doesn't have a massive solution. It's similar to smoking and getting lung cancer. And there's not going to be a one-stop shop to fix all of the issues you've accumulated over a poor lifestyle. Oftentimes, the best answer is just to continue living a good lifestyle, and eventually, after years of doing that, you're going to get better. But if you've been living 2 decades in a very shitty lifestyle, yeah, your gut's not going to be so hot. But that doesn't mean supplements are going to fix your problems. If you look at the comments in our post, everyone is saying that they have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. All of them, oddly enough, are older women, somewhere within the range of 30 to 40s, which is also a bit perplexing and very curious as to why this demographic seems to be the only one afflicted by these issues.
Okay, long-awaited gut healing protocol. I'm going to walk you through every supplement I take that was recommended by several holistic doctors. If you have any of these symptoms, I would look into SIBO. This is not just like, oh, I occasionally get bloated. This is chronic bloat. It ruins my life. Like, something needs to be fixed. I would look into SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and this is the protocol I'm following. And it's a holistic approach, which I'm all about. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is replacing the systems of my body that aren't working properly. So I'm not digesting my food properly because I have SIBO and all of these gut issues. It damages your gut lining, all the things. So I'm adding in these digestive enzymes to help me absorb the nutrients from my food. It helps with bowel movements, all of it. I'm also bringing in a probiotic. This one is the most recommended by any doctor, whether traditional or holistic. It's amazing. Sometimes though, if you do have SIBO, you can be reactive to probiotics. So some people wait. I just say try it. If you don't seem to be doing well with it after a few weeks, just pass on this phase. Super common that you aren't going to the bathroom regularly when you have SIBO, so I'm adding in Motility Pro and then also magnesium citrate and magnesium malate to help me go to the bathroom. I'm on a few detoxing supplements. This just helps you again absorb your food, but also helps your detoxification system, which is key when you have all of these toxins and overgrowth in your gut. This is GI Detox from Biocide and Botanicals. It binds to the toxins in your gut and helps truly just get rid of them. But you can't take it within an hour of any other supplements because it literally just binds to everything and removes it from your system, so you have to be a little careful about the timing with it. Okay, now on to the antimicrobials, which is the bulk of the protocol, and these act as bacteria fighting and they help to get rid of that overgrowth, and they are strong and you can have symptoms from them because they're actively killing things in your gut, which can make you feel pretty gross. I'm starting with this, and when I say I'm starting small. I'm taking a quarter, 1/18, 1/16 of this supplement and seeing how I react to it at first, just taking one dose, and then I'm going to slowly build up until I can do one in the morning and one at night for 1 week. Completely depending on how bad your gut is, what you're dealing with, you can have different reactions to these antimicrobials because again, they are strong and they're killing things in your gut, which can cause a herxheimer reaction. So after I can successfully do 1 week of this morning and night without feeling awful, then I'm going to move to the next antimicrobial, which is oregano oil. It's amazing. I'm going to do the same thing until I can do one in the morning, one at night for a week. Same thing with this berberine from Thorn, and the last one is neem. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I cannot stress enough, start small with these antimicrobials, try and do them for a week each, and then switching, it gets your body like not used to them, and then yeah.
I've never seen a doctor recommend these products or have gone to any mentorships in which they recommend these products, or Jesus, even just getting a degree. I never heard of any of these products. Also, what's really interesting here is using a probiotic to fix SIBO, which by definition is bacterial overgrowth. So you're feeding the gut more bacteria, strains of which you clearly have no idea what are doing because science hasn't actually found out yet. Keep this in mind with the bacteria in them, yet we don't have any really solidified data to support these are good, these are bad. We have broad classifications, like there's anaerobic bacteria and aerobic bacteria, and we know that aerobic bacteria can cause a lot of gas and indigestion, but it's not so easy to say, well, this probiotic has all the good bacteria. And clearly, how is she gonna know that this product, or the doctors are gonna know that this product has the bacteria that you need? Or it's gonna have the ones that will fix your chronic issue? Because clearly, as I just stated, there's over 1 trillion different bacteria in the human body. Trillions, not just 1 trillion. And every other person has a different microbiome. And so just broadly saying, take this specific probiotic isn't going to net someone a huge benefit. Another thing is how we discussed the recent studies talking about how food can be much more prevalent to fixing these digestive issues than any kind of supplement. Why is the first thing that she's talking about or the doctors are recommending not food? Why is it supplements? What doctor would clearly do that without having a very definitive database to say that this is the right move, when clearly the data that they're working off of is suggesting that food is a multitude times better at fixing these issues? I don't know a single doctor who would just blatantly ignore research like that. By the way, her holistic doctor isn't a fucking doctor. They are self-proclaimed gurus, they're not medical professionals. She goes on to suggest that you should take 12 to 15 different products costing a person up to, $500 or more dollars. So I don't really care to hear about what kind of idiocy she has to say. Ultimately, what you need to do instead of buying copious amounts of products is live better, do better, sleep better. Most of your issues will be fixed if you just fix your environment and lifestyle.
Improve your gut health without costing you anything. I'm a board-certified gastroenterologist, so hit that follow button for more tips like this. So I'm going to key you in on some things that I tell my patients to manage some of their gut symptoms that won't cost them anything. So for example, if you suffer from acid reflux, breathe in through your nose, let your belly expand, hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then slowly breathe out of your mouth. And what this does is this closes off the opening between the esophagus and stomach and can help with symptoms of heartburn. The second thing is taking a walk after eating. We know that taking a walk after eating can help improve symptoms of acid reflux, bloating, and constipation because walking causes your intestinal tract to move, clear out gas, clear out food out of your stomach, and help you have a bowel movement. So one thing you can do is something called abdominal massage. And what that does is you start in the right lower quadrant of your belly and you massage in a circular fashion towards the left lower quadrant of your belly. And what this does is this can help massage gas and stool throughout your colon. And if you're constipated, this can actually help you have a bowel movement. And this has been shown to improve symptoms in people who have IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. Follow me for part 2 in the series.
Oh look, it's a board-certified nutritionist, someone who actually knows what they're talking about and is telling you to alter your lifestyle factors to very clearly fix your digestive issues. And he's not recommending some odd patented form of supplements that you should just swallow down your gullet every single day, multiple times a day, that's going to cost you several $100s a month.
I started a gut reset protocol that's based on traditional Chinese medicine. I not only lost 14 pounds, so go back to the last slide or the last post if you want to see my physical difference, but I look like way leaner and I lost about 14 pounds in total. But that's not even the half of it. The half of it is how I feel. I can explain to you how good I feel and I'm going to share. So I had daily anxiety for about a year, I would say maybe even 2 years, and I didn't even realize that I had it. So I have a lot on my plate. I work full time. I'm a mom. I clean my own house. I make all my meals at home, everything. I cook for my family. I also have a business. I've had 2 businesses, but recently now I just have 1 business. So I got a lot on my plate. So I thought having daily anxiety was normal because I got a lot to get done. But it isn't normal because I don't have it anymore. And I'm like, damn, I had anxiety every single day and I didn't even know. I thought it was just a normal feeling because I was a busy person. Second is I woke up every single morning and felt slightly depressed. I wake up in the morning with all these thoughts would come in my head and I would just kind of have like this sad feeling. Well, all of this is gone now, okay? I'm like a happy person, which is so amazing because I'm a better mom, I'm a better wife, and I do not have any anxiety. And it totally makes sense because your gut health is completely related to your mental health.
Ancient Chinese medicine. This already sounds really good. Okay, so she had anxiety and a ton of other symptoms, which is fair. The gut-brain axis is a very legitimate thing, and there's not I'm not disputing that. Their gut-brain axis is very real. But here's the thing. Having anxiety, which is often demonized, or having a little bit of depression, which is often demonized, is fucking normal. Imagine that. I mean, Jesus Christ, do you really think people don't go from day to day worrying about things that matter in their lives? I don't know what we would be doing as humans if we didn't have concern and worry as physical emotions. Do you think that people don't experience sorrow when bad things happen, or in general, things aren't going their way in a day-to-day basis? This is just so ludicrous to say that you fixed your gut and now you have zero anxiety. When she said herself, she works a very intensive job, which I'd be curious to see what that job is. But anyways, a very intensive job nonetheless. And if you're anything like me and you work a lot of hours and you have very specific goals, there is almost a psychopathic form of urgency every single day. But what's also interesting is why have I never heard a man address these problems? Why is it only isolated to women? I've never heard a man talk about his gut issues causing anxiety or depression, or he needs to fix his gut issues. In fact, if you just type in gut health on TikTok, all you see is women. By the way, the loss of 14 pounds sounds crazy, and in theory it sounds good, like holy crap, she's done something amazing. Your gut, as I said though, on average carries 8 to 25 pounds of stool at any given moment. If you're taking a bunch of herbal prokinetics, or in other words, basically laxatives, which a lot of these products or herbal medicines are actually made of or cause you to have a laxative effect, yeah, toots, you're gonna fucking lose some weight because that 25 pounds of shit that you're holding in your gut is gonna start to fall out. It's not magic, unfortunately. Also, another point of contention is when people say that they feel bloated. Do you realize that a person at any given point has 25 pounds of stool in them? How much does an infant weigh? A fetus? I mean, have you seen a mother's belly? This is just ludicrous.
Here are 4 things I did and didn't do to heal my gut and still do now every day, which helped me go from this to this. I did drink water before any caffeine. I've just been asleep for 8 hours and feeling pretty dehydrated, so gotta hydrate. I definitely did not have coffee as a substitute for breakfast. Eat something nutritious and high protein. I did eat the rainbow. Our gut loves diversity, but I was always eating the same foods. I find myself going for blueberries and avocado because I love it. But then remember that there is over 30,000 different edible plant-based foods, so I tried to mix it up. Also, herbs and spices, lots of those. I did eat mostly whole, real foods and limited processed foods with refined sugars. And for snacks, I either tried to make them myself or I look out for foods that use more natural ingredients. However, I definitely didn't completely remove things like pastas, pizzas from my diet because that would be no fun. And finally, I did avoid constantly picking throughout the day because if you're not giving your gut any time to rest and repair between meals, it can really impact digestion.
Holy cow, folks, we got a gal who knows what the fuck she's doing. She's eating whole foods to get healthier. She used those foods to fix her acne, and you'll see a lot of people talk about using gut protocols to fix their acne.
My skin used to look like this.
And now it looks like this, of course. To try and heal it, I went on 20 plus rounds of antibiotics, and all they did was leave me in a worse place. To get to this point, I've had to heal my gut, and I'm going to tell you how I healed my gut. Firstly, take a high quality probiotic. This one is the one that I take. It's got billions of CFU, and it's got lots of strains, which is what you want to look for. Next, include lots of gut-friendly foods. So these foods are fermented. Your gut's really supported when you're having fibre, and a teaspoon of flax seeds and chia seeds a day can really make a difference. Try and find out your deficiencies and address them, either through foods or through supplements. Apple cider vinegar, a shot of it before a meal, can really help with digestion. It does this because it helps your stomach become more acidic so it can break down your meal properly. And on the other side of this, don't actually drink water with your meals. Water is alkalizing, so it means your stomach will be less acidic if you're drinking water with your meal, so it will find it harder to break down your meal, so you won't.
Like this girl, and I promise the actual result that she got from this wasn't from the supplements, it wasn't from the special protocol that she was doing, it was very clearly from her changing her diet, not poor gut health. I mean, this girl is so misinformed. Drinking water with your food is actually beneficial in terms of helping you digest that food by causing it to mechanically be broken down a bit easier. The problem is volume. Sometimes a lot of athletes or bodybuilders eat a very high volume meal, and so adding water into that meal is only going to take up more space within your stomach, causing you to feel bloated. But the whole concept of water is going to stunt your stomach acid is kind of true, but I think people neglect to realize that our body is primarily water, and some of that acid uses water to be produced. The proton pumps require that. And it's not as if our stomach hasn't been over millennia trained to deal with water intake and causing stomach acid to be variable. If that was the case, it was so simple to just stunt stomach acid, we would all be dying of horrible infections because our stomach couldn't kill the bacteria in the things we consume. The lunacy here, using terms that are so medical or broad spectrum, stomach acid, gut dysbiosis, SIBO, digestion, mechanical break, like all of these things in such a generic manner, shows a clear discrepancy of misunderstanding with what's actually going on within the human gut. Now, if you take it from me, the best thing that you could do to improve your gut isn't taking radical amounts of supplements or hiring this coach who has a specific protocol that no one else has for some particular reason, even though this is a field that's been studied for multiple decades, oftentimes longer than that individual has actually been alive, and he hasn't really discovered anything new or came up with anything that novel. It's rather that he's just sponsored by specific supplement companies. Nevertheless, I think what you could do is truly just improve your lifestyle. If you're bloating, as this doctor said, walk behind meals, take a walk, go sleep more. Sleeping for a solid 7 to 8 hours actually has some really serious consequences for the better in terms of your gut health. There's this thing called the migrating motor pattern, which is basically how your stomach flushes out a lot of the waste material. And that requires good sleep, that requires good thyroid function, and that requires a great deal of time between meals, and the night being one of those times. So there's many things you can do to improve your gut that don't require thousands of dollars of supplements or any supplements at all. And oftentimes these global issues are condensed down into you have SIBO, dysbiosis, or some other radical kind of problem with yourself. And in reality, it's just a lot of middle-aged women concerned about themselves because they don't know what else to point their fingers at for their specific problems other than just turning it back around and pointing it at themselves. I'll catch you in the next video. If you like this one, do think about subscribing. It would mean the world to me. I do want to grow this channel as large as I possibly can, and I can't really do it without the help of the audience. So I appreciate you guys, and every minute you watch is a valuable moment for me. If you'd like to see more of this, comment, let me know down below, or if you have questions for me, just shoot them down below. I'm happy to help out. We also have a Discord group down in the bio below. You can join that group. It is a private group. It does have paid access, but you can also join for free. It does help this channel massively, and if you do decide to become a paid member, you are an elite member of my personal team, and I consider you an absolute asset because you're helping this channel be where it is today. Catch you in the next video.